The only part that I don't like about the
Remember that
live
episode
shows
of
is that I
Simpsons
can't
where the Nelson
speed up
where the kid broke his arm, and he was like
the 2x.
He's like, what?
Like
He's
I can't make it
the
fast.
kid broke his arm. He's like, what? I said, ha ha. That's so great. Filecoin, $24. I'm not sure why Filecoin's getting a bid, but I haven't really checked on the news. That's an abnormal spike. So something's going on with Filecoin, which sucks too, because I was looking to add under 20.
That reminds me, I have to get
IRE. I have a position. I was part of the original the initial coin offering years ago.
Yeah, I wish Cardano had an app.
Give us our tokens like a few tokens
you
a
and
day.
me both.
This drip feeding bullshit. It's so ridiculous. It's like it'll take us 12 months
and
to
if
get all our
it
tokens. I'm
were,
like, oh god. Anyway, Neo 1430. I'm dollar cost averaging into
control
it
it.
because I like the China play graph token. It's not in my wheelhouse yet to buy. I don't think you buy it until it's
Abra was
the
the best
but it
option
is
I
a
had
valuable
until
tool.
they
And if you're an Ethereum fan and you
stopped
think
being an
Ethereum's going
option.
to get a bid, then you want to own graph
And
token,
that's because of the
for
stupid
developers
regulation
it
thing.
allows
So it's
them
depending
to
on what
access
state you're
indexing
in. You're
servers for all the different
That's
blockchains.
funny
You gotta
because
have
there's the same kind of regulations
developer
on
that doesn't go to the blockchain
online
now you can
gambling.
You can utilize some of graphs
like
It's just-
fantasy football gambling. Like some states can't. Like my state can't do it.
You can do it. I think in New Jersey, but you can't in New York.
You need new apps. You need stuff.
It's like
you need stuff
weird.
to use, stuff on your phone. And
annoying.
T-Fuel, look,
Yeah,
3.3 cents. Just keeps moving, doesn't it? So it's pretty cool.
And I think the main play I think new
that's
people
really
will
what this is
make
all about.
is
If
they see
institutions keep-
Bitcoin
Gary,
being expensive,
asks, question, if
and then they see all the
institutions
other
keep
ones
buying
being
at the
less
current rate
expensive,
and miners don't sell, is it
which
safe to
isn't
buy
really
those going up?
well, it's not a.
Yeah, even if miners
It's
sell,
a bias
listen,
that isn't good to
900
have.
Bitcoin a day that are mined.
But then again, it'll
I'm assuming
make
we're talking Bitcoin.
what I own that is
so there's only 900 total
cheap
coins mined a day,
worth more a lot faster.
PayPal's buying
So it's
Right.
kind of like
those. Why? Because even
if
though
you know
PayPal,
if you know people are
matter
going
of
to do
fact,
it, you
this is
might
actually
as
a good
well
thing. Those of you
play
who really
it
dig
or
into
at least
this.
trade it.
Everybody was like, "Oh, PayPal's bullcrap," and when it happened, I was like, "This is what we needed." If you want to thank someone for this year, it's PayPal. I did the math.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I keep forgetting.
PayPal,
it's not stopping. Like it doesn't stop.
Almost directly responsible for this run.
Bitcoin, it just goes up and up and up and up.
Guys, but you know, and they're buying.
Have you seen that on the month?
Grayscale's been buying for years.
Yes.
There's nothing new about Grayscale.
And if you zoom out, so you can see like the past 2 years,
guys starting to come in.
Yes.
It just
constant buying from PayPal, Square.
It's
Venmo,
pointing
Cash
up,
App,
and it just seems
bang, bang. Why? Because they're going
come
hold
to
all
buy
those
it
assets,
now,
custody them.
But then when you think in 2 or 3 months after
PayPal,
it's
you don't really own
30,
shit.
40, or 50 grand, it's like,
oh, did you guys know
it was under 30? Whoops.
You don't own shit.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a weird mind
and they
thing.
sell your data.
There's really no way to figure like what percentage.
Goldman Sachs.
I mean, obviously you're all in, but for someone like me, there's no way I can figure out what percentage of my savings I would put into Bitcoin.
Actually trades against you.
Well,
I'm literally just making. I use $20 because it's an amount of money that's easy to do.
That's not advice.
Common phrase.
I'm just telling you.
Is get off zero, which is what you've already done, so that you kind of check that box off. Then it's a
Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum,
depending on how much you digest of it and learn more and figure out what it is.
Like think of it as quasi
that
money,
then
quasi assets, quasi
makes you look at your savings
you want to put on
number differently, and instead of looking at the number, you think, what am I going to? What could I buy with it? And I think that's what Robert Kiyosaki really nails. Is it's not the number; it's what are you going to buy with it
in cold storage.
And if that keeps getting more and more expensive, your number is actually going down, not staying the same.
Storage custody with
so Bitcoin's number going up
my guess
is actually
however they're
the dollar going down.
Those assets are
for you, yes.
You're taking the supply and chopping it down.
But if you're not going to, if it is savings and you're not going to touch it in the next 2 years,
oh, definitely, no, absolutely.
So it's kind of like a weird mental game.
There's just not a lot of Bitcoin out there.
Oh, we got to smash the likes.
So I can see this panic FOMO where people start rushing into Bitcoin.
Go into the
and people were asking me, well,
go to the chat box.
Sell Bitcoin. I wouldn't sell Bitcoin. Now I'm not one of these half-tards that will tell you I'll never sell. But indirectly, I probably won't sell Bitcoin. What I will do is I will borrow against Bitcoin.
Yes.
I'll borrow my way out.
See, that's why I want to just
I don't want to sell my way out of these things. I don't want the tax implication. But you borrow
because you don't
your
pay
way
tax
out,
on
you're
the debt.
technically in debt. Who are you in debt to?
Yourself.
Yes. You're in debt to yourself. And you know who? I don't mind owing me. I don't mind owing me nothing.
You borrow against the shit you have.
All right, Chicago. What's up? Ooh,
and your income.
So you're borrowing your own money. Right. You're borrowing your own Bitcoin to use money, and then you're going to pay yourself back. So you're not paying. Oh my god! All right, I see it. I see it.
So you borrow
against none of these
get
spikes.
cash
Listen, when a token
for putting up collateral.
It's like when you hit someone with an EKG.
But after you're done paying off the loan, you get the collateral back.
You guys know what a life pack is?
Right.
Life pack 8.
And then you didn't actually pay any kind of interest.
Pads that paramedics use.
The only income that you paid
when you see
was to service the debt.
They're like,
right,
clear in the hospital,
which is
pads. They don't do
a small percentage versus what you're getting back
in a hospital. They don't use
in the collateral, and because it's a appreciating asset, your debt's going to cost less and less.
There's already probes hooked up. Right.
Granted, if Bitcoin does go down, then it's a problem. As with XRP, it kind of puts people into weird situations.
I actually wrote.
But that's where.
Oh yeah, I got an APR notification that they're not selling XRP anymore
because they're not sure if it's a security or not, or at least it's come to everyone's attention.
One of my good friends was an emergency medic.
Ripple's basically getting sued,
and his story is
through the SEC.
So anyways,
that they were selling unregistered security.
And it reads really freaking fast. It is like an action adventure of
every other.
Can't that same thing happen to Bitcoin?
But he's also
because Bitcoin, they've declared Bitcoin not
the crazy stuff that
security, but a commodity.
In doing that, I learned a whole lot about
Ethereum. They said it could have been a security, but at this point in time, it isn't.
They're already hooked up.
And those are the only two they've
when they spike
declared.
Okay. Get shot, and actually,
so my thought was
you're defibbing somebody,
the chances of the price going down below where I got into it were relatively high. So why not sell now? Spare myself the long agonizing price decline of 2 months.
Chicago, so
when
you see a
and if
like that,
all the dust clears and it looks like a good purchase at 2 or 5 cents. There's no point in holding on from 30 cents.
Arbitrage, probably not today's.
If you want it,
today's a time to kind of like
you can, throw 1% of your portfolio in it and get
discussion.
100,000 tokens.
So
right,
might be a good.
And then
we'll talk arbitrage.
The chance of it going to 0 from 1. You've kind of reduced your risk, but the upside going from 1 or 2 cents up to $1 or $5.
For the girl out there that told me that
your asymmetric payoff is ginormous.
You're right.
While the risk really isn't that much. It was a small percentage of your portfolio.
For those of you that were saying, "Hey, it's hard."
So this other guy that I watch
and what's the evening
does the whole risk on, risk off. So he's like all in Bitcoin, but then small percentages go into
shows, and I now have
other things that could work.
Top right corner. Bam.
But he wants to reduce his risk, so he says risk on is the alts, risk off is just holding Bitcoin.
Right.
Okay.
So between him and Nick and Jerry, I've kind of
XRP
mushed together my
one among many.
Moon of the dumpster.
By early next week, all XRP trading is frozen.
Dumpster juice
changes, especially Coinbase. They just got hit with a class action lawsuit because someone said, "Hey, if you're trading unlicensed security, I want my fees back." There's an argument. God,
I guess I could say that too.
A dumpster fire that whole thing has become. Okay, just entered for.
Now, how come this shit won't happen to Bitcoin?
Cool, Steve.
Because Bitcoin has, because they've
just promised me you're not doing
clarified it as not a security.
You just want to dollar cost your way.
And because they couldn't,
I'm not looking for 11.50.
Well, they can't sue anyone. Put it that way.
Forever.
Yeah.
Some of these things,
okay.
I don't know.
Well,
you know what? I will say
they
this,
could
Steve,
say, "Oh, it's now a security." Trades. But that's one.
And I just
government agency among 60,000 other government agencies among the global. So it's like if they do,
we do a lot of seminar. We do a lot of options.
There's the rest of the world's going to go play with their marbles, and
let's see qualities.
Like it would be.
So what would you do then? You would pull your bit if you wanted to. I guess you would. Okay.
You would just sell it. You would use it outside the United States.
Right. Gotcha.
I kind of.
So they wouldn't really do it because then they would just ostracize themselves.
I don't think the argument for gold,
or at least I don't think they would.
I think we're at a point where, well, one, millennials won't hold gold Any gold that they get, they're going to flip. Boomers may have some gold. They're going to turn it over. The gold.
And he came from,
and this is uncomfortable for a lot of people to hear.
I think like 10,
no,
8 years
God's
maybe
money.
of gold invest or
what?
trading gold God. For
right,
no,
like
trading gold
and that
futures.
Was the whole thing with Nietzsche, which more
while
about,
he worked at a gold smelting
was gone, right? The whole God is dead
business with his friends
on the necessity of
because they had so much gold.
Or a super
they basically bought like the jewelry from all the cash for gold places. They would basically melt it all down and get it into an ingot so that could then be bought and sold. And so they were kind of that arm of gold. So because they take in so much in 1 week, it might take them 4 or 5 days to process everything. If gold dropped by $100, they'd lose like $100,000.
It opens up more.
So Nick would go in and buy options on contracts
why hasn't
to even out their risk of
good question. People
if the price would the price volatility during the process of them getting the gold in and then putting it out.
Panic to gold.
So he's kind of come through Bitcoin via gold,
and even hedge funds held tons of gold.
And the
what would happen
like hedge fund option world.
Assets are correlated 1.
So he definitely has a perspective that's
correlated. When there's
like galactical,
panic, you sell
relative
your losers,
to what
and then
Bitcoin
you sell
is.
your winners to cover your losers, especially if you're leveraged. Thank the Fed for pushing everyone.
So does this guy claim he has no money in the stock market? Like he's all in on the coins?
Then they can.
I don't think he does, only because he doesn't trust it.
Everything
and because he's been successful at doing this,
right?
And his other stream of income has nothing to do with the stock market. So it's like,
why use it?
Like it's there.
With that being said,
it's a playground that people are going to play on, but he knows it's rusted and it's going to fall apart soon.
Gotcha.
So he just kind of plays where he's more comfortable.
Would I rather have gold than dollars? Yes, except that you can't transact gold very easily. And listen, for everybody that doesn't know me,
and he's a good
business.
macro economist.
I am a gold hedger,
which is, I think, most important in crypto now more than ever. Because 10 years ago, this wasn't even a possibility.
Gold refinement.
Right. So now that we're kind of getting more comfortable with, by the way, the rest of the world's going to be holding Bitcoin in some shape or form.
To contact me, we have.
That's a lot different than what we all thought 5 years ago.
As a matter of fact.
So his macro
$300 million worth of gold a year.
Perspective,
sell gold, do not sell it to
is their perspective, and they're looking at crypto. So we have more information than they do,
which is what we buy
as long as we teach ourselves more macroeconomics faster than they can learn crypto. So it's like this arms race of intelligence.
So right. I just did a gold transaction beginning of last week. It was great. I'll take it. I took the money, I put it in Bitcoin. That's it. I take my profit, I move it right over to Coinbase, move it to Coinbase Pro, buy Bitcoin, push it out to
my this has gone from interesting to shit.
Leverage on leverage.
Why don't I
I guess as it learns, but
so
13 minutes.
I say the gold trade is dead compared to
millennials
won't hold it. Hedge funds are less apt to hold
see.
Big amounts of it. It's only the older dudes.
Oh, one eyeball. I guess one person's watching. Or is that me?
The older dudes, and you know what they're
or is it me?
They're like, come on, gold, but they all know
put
right now, at least for the
could I watch
future,
it? No, because I'm broadcasting it.
Bitcoin has become
put something in the
it's the place to
put
hide.
Something in the comments.
If you held gold for 100 years, you would lose 85% of your buying power.
I don't have that. I can chat, but comments. All right.
That'd be me. Well, no, I'm trying to see if there was one.
That's impossible to calculate. If you go backwards 100
I can't comment.
Gold actually did quite well. That's based on a lot of assumptions. So let me retract that.
Wait, I'm not logged in, it says. Because it's my computer. My phone is how I log in as me.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so the pain in the ass part is finding out if the state that you're in prohibits you from owning the asset or not, which is a really weird way to say it, but
that's how it is.
As accurate as possible, because it does depend on, like, you may not even be able to I think you should be able to if I was able to, but I did it through a VPN. So I wish it was as easy as signing up
Gotcha. Okay, I see.
an app.
You were blocked.
That's at least for Bitcoin, I guess it's possible. And watching more of the dudes on Swan TV, they're just a bag of. Actually, now that I think about it, someone earlier, hey Snubs, someone earlier said "swinging Richards," and I was like, "Oh, that's actually hilarious."
I get it.
All right, let's see what's
CPI of 1.7.
Oh, that's weird. No, that's funny.
My name is Jan Prisker, and I spent the last 20 years building startups. I heard about Bitcoin first in 2011, and it sparked my interest, but I didn't really understand it. And then I heard about it again in 2013 with a hype bubble that happened.
Yeah, so they just kind of play like
2016, I finally
Bitcoin TV, which is helpful for
Bitcoin. I was really shocked to find out
people wanting to learn passively.
I didn't really understand what people.
But the way they explain things and go over is
and being somebody
slightly slanted and steered more towards a Bitcoin tinted perspective.
Right.
So it's a weird way to learn about it, but it's kind of one of the only things available that function like it. But they just have a 24/7 content on this show that just runs around the hour.
Well,
but yeah, they're not going to explain anything other than big yellow thing.
A lot of the things that are put forth in the Bitcoin,
and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That the money should be kept to supply,
all right, well, let me see. Thank you for your participation in this attempt broadcast. Now let's see if
those things really resonated with me.
Did anything.
Being that I'm from the former Soviet Union, I actually.
All right, I will. Maybe I'll send you. If it works, I'll send you the link, and that will be the conclusion of this broadcast.
Okay.
Have a good one, man.
Good night and good luck.
Oh, Godspeed.
And Happy New Year. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.